Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to the BTM channel, and in today's video I'm going to be reacting to every single first round pick. And yeah, not much else to say besides that. Let's see who all these teams drafted. Again, YouTube's getting a lot more strict on the reaction, so of course I kind of have to do it the boring way where I just react to like it on a website like ESPN, stuff like that. So again, my apologies for that. But starting it off, we got Cam Ward going to the Titans. And I think this was pretty obvious. I think he is definitely the best player in this draft as far as quarterbacks. But I just think, I mean, the Titans, they needed this. They need a new quarterback, and obviously they got their guy here in Cam Ward. I do think Cam Ward will be ready to go. I like this, you know, this is just kind of a random comment. I like this pro comp for him, Jordan Love. I think he's a little better at not turning the ball over, but I would say he is very similar to Jordan Love. You know, can definitely have some high production. But yeah, I think this was definitely the right choice for them. Let's go to pick number 2, Travis Hunter. Whew. This is crazy. So apparently Cleveland traded with Jacksonville. Again, like I obviously I did not watch the draft, of course. Yeah, I can't stand to sit there for that long. Watch that. But Travis Hunter to the Jaguars. I mean, I think this is a good, you know, decision for the Jaguars. Get a guy like this. You can put him wide receiver. You can put him quarterback. You can put him anywhere. I do like this choice. I think he's got to be a great player in the league. And yeah, I think this will be a big help, big boost for the Jaguars. And then moving on, we got Abdul Carter going to the Giants. This guy borderline is probably like, yeah, I mean, you see here his pro comp is Micah Parsons. That obviously doesn't mean he's got to play like Micah Parsons, but this guy I would argue is probably the best player in this draft. You know, he's definitely arguably, especially I would say on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, I think Travis Hunter's great, but I mean, Abdul Carter, as far as just a solid position player, I mean, this guy, he's a beast. He is a beast on the edge. And yeah, I think for the Giants, this is a step in the right direction. I mean, I feel like the Giants pretty much need everything when you really think about it. But I think this is a good start for them. And then the Patriots pick number 4. By the way, y'all, my apologies for going so quick on this, but there's so many picks I got to get through them all. Will Campbell to the Patriots. Very Patriots pick here. You know, take the offensive lineman, protect Drake May. I do like this choice. You know, it's nothing like exciting, but I still think he's got to be a great player, great blocker for Drake May next year. All right, 5th pick, Mason Graham. I honestly don't know much about this guy. I really don't. I don't know much about this guy. Obviously, defensive tackle, Michigan. You know, I've watched a few Michigan games, but I really can't comment on this guy. I mean, of course, he can definitely help, you know, stop the run, maybe get some more pressure on the quarterback, pairing him with Myles Garrett. But I also don't get the side of the Browns here. Why would you trade? I feel like they should have taken Travis Hunter. I really do. I mean, it's not like their wide receivers are great. They have some good cornerbacks, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like that would have been a right fit for them. But Mason Graham, obviously, I don't think is a bad player. Again, I don't know a whole lot about him, but I think he'll be good for them. Pick number 6, Ashton GT. I mean, this brother, I mean, he deserves to be drafted top 10. I mean, it's crazy. You know, obviously, running backs getting drafted this early has been, you know, highly, like, frowned upon. But, I mean, when you really saw what he did last year, it's kind of hard not to, like, you know, I don't think the Raiders should get much criticism for the, you know, this guy could literally transform their offense. He really could. I still think their offense has got to be buns a little bit, but I like this choice for them. I do. You know, it's an explosive guy that could literally carry their entire offense. All right. Next up is the Jets. Amon Membu from Mizzou. Shout out to Armand. This was a fantastic choice for the Jets. Again, another great offensive lineman. Again, he's arguably the best, offensive lineman in the draft. Obviously, Will Campbell, I think, is also very good. Again, I don't think you can go wrong with either of them, but this is a great choice. It's a good guy, to have on your team. I mean, we obviously don't really know. Do we know who the Jets are like? Who's their quarterback? They signed somebody, right? I can't even think of who the Jets quarterback is right now. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers. I don't think he's coming back. So, see, this choice. This is interesting to me. Okay, McMillan. I still don't know how to say his name. Great, McMillan, wide receiver from Arizona, goes to the Panthers. This is a little, confusing to me. I think he should be a first-round pick, but I just think there's better choices for the Panthers. I think there's other positions they could have went to, but we'll see. And Bryce Young gets another weapon, so we'll see what he can do with it. Saints draft Calvin Banks. I like this choice. Offensive lineman again. You really can't go wrong with offensive lineman. It's a good cornerstone piece that you can kind of keep on your team for a while. And yeah, obviously offensive linemen are very important. Bengals. But yeah, next pickup we got Colston Loveland going to the Bears. That's a good choice. I mean, he's of course easily the best tight end in this draft, I believe. Yeah, it's a good choice. Tight end's a very tough position for me. I think it's important. But I don't think it's necessarily a necessity. And I feel like Cole Kmet, I think Cole Kmet's a really good tight end. I don't know. Even blocking, I feel like he's pretty solid. So this one, I don't think it's a bad choice to take the superstar here, but I don't know. That one's a little questionable for me. Michael Williams going out of Georgia, going to the 49ers. I like this choice. Of course, 49ers lost some defensive pieces, so I think this is a good piece to pick up going into the next year. I'm going to try to speed up now, y'all, because otherwise this video's got to be 20 minutes long. Tyler Booker out of Alabama going to the Cowboys again. This is another good choice. Offensive lineman, offensive guard, whatever you want to call him. Protect Dak Prescott back there. I mean, you just paid that guy $60 million a year. You better protect him. Yeah, I think this is a good choice. Kenneth Grant out of Michigan going to the Dolphins. Again, another good choice here. This guy is a very good run stopper. I mean, he's a big dude. He's a big dude, of course, but he's a great run stopper that I think will be a great addition for that defensive line in Miami. Again, they also lost some pieces, and so I think this is a great choice for them. All right, Tyler Warren going to the Colts. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the blue, but something just fits about this. Yeah, I mean, he's a very. I feel like you can move this guy around. You can kind of do a lot of different things with him in your offense, and I think this is a good piece. You got to think, who's the last great Colts tight end that you can think of? I can't think of one. I really can't. I think this is a great pickup for them. I like this pick. I like this pick definitely better than like the Bears drafting, their tight end. Jalen Walker going to Atlanta, staying in Georgia. I think this is a good pick. You compare him, you can kind of move him around. He's good at rushing the quarterback when he needs to. Of course, obviously that's not his main priority. He's also good in coverage, big hitter. This is definitely a good guy to add to that defense. And Atlanta's defense at times was really good, and then at times it really struggled. So I think this is a good pickup for them. Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, going to the Cardinals. Again, another good guy for them to pick up. I think they definitely need some defense. I mean, we saw their defense last year. And yeah, this guy will be definitely if he's not good right away for them, I definitely think in the future he'll turn up for him. And then my Bengals, again, I did a whole kind of reaction to the Bengals pick. So if you guys want to go check that out, that'll be up on the channel. But this is a very Bengals pick. Not a lot of good not a lot of stats for this guy in his college career. But as far as the athleticism, the potential, the Bengals are taking a risk on him, which is, again, that's a very Bengals pick. So we'll see what happens with this guy. I really hope he turns out. I really do. Next up, we got is Gray Zabel, North Dakota State. This was a little surprising. I didn't have him going this early, I believe, in my mock draft. But the Seahawks offensive line has been awful. It's bad. It's bad, and I think this is a good player to add to the team. I definitely think there's some questions about whether he should have been drafted this early, but that's a whole nother conversation. Emike, why can't I say this guy's name? Emike out of Ohio State. Again, I've watched this guy. I don't know why I can't say his name. This guy, he's a very exciting player. Again, one of the best wide receivers, of course, in this draft. This is definitely an interesting choice by the Buccaneers. I think, if I were the Buccaneers, I would have taken defense. Their defense really struggled last year, especially in the secondary. But I guess their thought process was like, we'll get another weapon for Baker after like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin go. So I guess maybe that's their logic. I could see it. Broncos add another, cornerback. I honestly could have seen them taking a receiver here. I expected them to maybe take some offensive firepower, but they didn't. So, but I can't bash it. Defense, their defense last year was very good, but they did lack some depth in that cornerback room, so I assume that's why they took this guy. Steelers take Derek Harmon. Again, I feel like this is a very Steelers pick, defensive guy, solid all-around defensive player, good at stopping the run. Cameron Hayward's obviously getting old. I think it's a good choice. Okay, next up, I didn't even realize. Oh, wow, this really Hampton goes to the chart. Wow, I'm shocked, because I think Najee Harris, I think he went to the. Really? I'm shocked about this one. I really am, because the Chargers, they had J.K. Dobbins. I honestly don't know if he's still there. I'm not sure, but I know they got Najee Harris for a fact. This is interesting. If I were the Chargers here, I would have taken maybe like a Luther Burden, taken a receiver. I think that would have been good. But okay, wow, all right. Next up, we got the Packers. Again, this guy would have been a great choice. Matthew Golden, Luther Burden. I think there was plenty of receivers still up that I think should have been taken. Matthew Golden, fantastic player. He can high point that ball. Not the biggest guy ever, but he is a really talented player. I really like this choice for the Packers. They haven't drafted a receiver in years. So, yeah, first round, one wide receiver since 2002. I like the choice. Donovan Jackson out of Ohio State goes to the Vikings. I think, again, this is a good choice. You can't go wrong with offensive linemen. And, yeah, they got J.J. McCarthy on the come-up. This be a good guy to protect him. Oh, my goodness. You got to be kidding me. Oh, my. Really? Wow. I'm shocked. Okay. Whew. What are we doing? Giants. What are we doing, I'm sorry, Giants fans. I don't know what you guys are thinking. I really feel for you guys. I really do. I personally think Jackson Dart is not gonna be that great. I really don't. Bash me, say whatever you want. That's my theory. I don't think this guy's gotta be that great. I'm shocked right now. Wow. Over Shador Sanders, too. Shador, I understand why maybe you wouldn't want to draft him. But, man, Jackson Dart over Shador, I can't stand with that one. I don't like that pick. Wow, I'm shocked about that. James Pierce goes to the Falcons. Okay, so the Falcons trade with the Rams, get another defensive guy. This guy will be good to pair with Matthew Judon. Whoopsies. He'll be a good pair. Where are we at? Yeah, I like this pick for them. Malachi Starks. This was a guy I was looking at for the Bengals. I believe he was actually probably the guy I chose in my mock draft for the Bengals. He did not obviously go to them. He went to the Ravens. Ravens, I feel like they're always taking safeties or like cornerbacks. Like, is that not like their first round pick to like the last like few years? Like, I don't know. Like, that's just every year, I swear. But Starks, I think, is a great player. I mean, he'll fit well next to Kyle Hamilton. See what happens with that. Tyleik Williams, defensive tackle, goes to the I almost said the Bears. Ooh, the Lions. This is a good choice. Again, maybe you could have waited on this guy, but you know, he's a good run stopper. Good, you know, good at slowing down the run. He's also gotten some pressure on the quarterback. You know, last year I watched a few games from him. He was good at getting pressure on the quarterback. I don't think this is a bad pick. Because, yeah, quite frankly, the Lions were not fantastic against the run last year. Okay, I like this choice for the Commanders. Josh Connolly, I really like this guy. I think he's got a great story. I think he's got to be a great player in the future. And I think for Jane Daniels, adding an offensive lineman to that explosive offense they got is a great choice. The Buffalo Bills take a quarterback, Maxwell Hairston. I did hear about this guy. You know, he's a very high energy guy, good locker room guy. And wow, we're getting some very interesting. This is just something I noticed. Tyleik Williams was compared to B.J. Hill. Maxwell Hairston was compared to Dax Hill, who's now on the Bengals as well. And yeah, I would say that's a fair comp for him. I would say, you know, they're similar players. But, you know, hopefully Maxwell turns out a little better than Dax, because right now Dax is not off to a great start. Jahad Campbell goes to the Eagles, man. That Eagles defense, man, it just keeps getting better. I really don't got much to say about that. And then we got the Chiefs. Offensive lineman. I mean, after what happened in that Super Bowl, I think it's rightfully so. You draft an offensive line with your first round pick. And yeah, so that is the first round. My bad. I know this stuff like this is probably a longer video, but that's just kind of how it goes whenever, you know, I have to react to 32 picks. But let me know what you guys thought of the first round. Make sure to like and subscribe. See you guys next one. Peace out.